last time out, things were going well until entering. So you can see, we go to change front wing, but we accidentally switched to wet, and by the time that happened, we can't do anything about it, because once you've committed that far. But now it was time for him to bounce back as Formula 1 heads to Suzuka. Despite the disappointment, Buddy Simpson was pleased that he was able to drive without power steering at pace, so he went home to tell his dad what he felt. Hey Dad, see, I can drive without power steering. Even though I had that pit stop glitch, I proved that I can drive at pace without power steering. Who's the man now?
This is ridiculous! A Simpson in F1?
Also, I just want to say this. Even if you do manage to get me out of F1, that doesn't mean I'm going to be racing in IndyCar. I mean, before, I was willing to race in IndyCar. In fact, I was quite liking IndyCar. But now, I absolutely hate IndyCar, and that's not because of the crash. The crash has absolutely nothing to do with anything but you. You're the one that's just killed my love, or any kind of love I previously had for IndyCar, because of your obsession.
Right, I've had enough of this. Try racing without
that's my driver's license! No, you can't do it. I've proved to you that I can drive without power steering. You can't do that!
Yes, I can! A Simpson doesn't belong in Formula 1!
But not if you're Buddy Simpson. F1 is my dream.
Yes, if you're Buddy Simpson, you're out of F1 for good! You don't wanna...
A what?
It's a secret! Bye-bye!
Oh, you really think taking my driver's license is going to stop me, Dad? Jesus Christ. Can I just race in F1 without all this crap? This really affected Buddy. However, it was now time for him to move on, as it was time for him to head to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. So, Buddy has arrived in Suzuka and is ready for hopefully a decent race. After 3 races without points, Buddy really has pressure on him, having gone 3 races without scoring points. He really needs to up his game to ensure that he can basically get back to the form that he was and continue to get a good drive for 2018. And also, Renault lost out to Haas in the Constructors last time out, so it was important that Renault can get that position up. There are a few aerodynamic upgrades to the car for this race. It was now time for the qualifying report. From the lights of Singapore to the thrilling Suzuka circuit, the atmosphere was electric as qualifying was about to get underway. Sauber once again were the last of the qualifiers, but Ericsson outqualified Wehrlein. McLaren struggled on Honda's home track, whilst Danny Kvyat starts at the back due to an engine penalty. Kevin Magnussen also starts on the back row due to a penalty, whilst Williams disappoint with 12th and 14th. Buddy Simpson surprised everyone to qualify in P5, whilst Sergio Perez also has an engine penalty and starts P18. Whilst the 2 Red Bulls start behind Buddy Simpson in P6 and P7. The 2 Mercedes lock out the second row, but it is a Ferrari front row lockout, as it's Sebastian Vettel who takes pole ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in second. So, taking a look at the starting grid for round 16, and it is an all-red front row with Vettel leading Raikkonen by 0.4 of a second. The silver cars line up on the second row with Hamilton ahead of Bottas, ahead of Buddy Simpson, Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen. Esteban Ocon lines up in 8th ahead of Nico Hulkenberg with Carlos Sainz rounding out the top 10. Then we have Grosjean, Massa, Alonso, Stroll, Van Dorn, Ericsson, Wehrlein with Perez, Magnussen and Kvyat at the back of the grid due to engine penalties.
Going into the final chicane. And all this will be happening under the watchful eye of Anthony Davidson, who joins me for today's race. And assuming the weather holds, where do you expect to see the action unfolding today, Ant?
Well, most of the time, passing here is limited very much into the final chicane, or maybe down into turn 1 if you get a good run and some assistance from DRS. But if we're lucky, we might see a bit of bravery into the hairpin, a place that Kamui Kobayashi certainly made his own in the 2010 Grand Prix on his way to a very impressive 7th place. And as you say, Crofty, this is all assuming that the conditions hold out. We know how quickly the clouds can come in here at Suzuka, and if they do, all bets will be off.
So, here Buddy is sitting on the grid here at the thrilling Suzuka circuit, about to get underway for the formation lap. Luckily this time, no dramas on the grid with his dad smashing the power steering. He's back racing with power steering, even though the lack of power steering was not the cause of why the Malaysia race went so haywire. But he's going into the first corner, obviously warming up his tyres. He heads into the chicane. Now he heads into the penultimate corner, now into the final corner, and is about to line up on the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix. So, he hits his grid box.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
So the lights are coming on. We have the lights in Suzuka. Lights out, away we go, and Buddy gets a reasonable launch off the line. He's cutting to the inside on the way into the first corner. But Ricciardo charges down the inside, heading into turn 1. There's a bit of contact there with Max Verstappen on the exit of turn 1. Now into the chicanes. As you can see, he's behind his teammate Nico Hülkenberg, who's battling Max Verstappen for P6. And at the moment, Hülkenberg's got the position, but really not what Buddy needed. And Buddy was not happy about that.
Oh, come on, why do those Red Bulls feel the need to dive bomb me all the time?
So Buddy, understandably, not happy with the two Red Bulls for their antics there at turn 1. But as you can see, Verstappen is making a move on Nico Hülkenberg ahead. And we are starting to get really close. Like, Hülkenberg has been leading a train, which we are kind of stuck in, because Verstappen is very hard to pass, but Hülkenberg is not up to the pace. But as you can see, we've got a much better exit, and we're going to try it up the inside going into Degner 1, and Hülkenberg runs wide, and we have taken the position. So we are up into P7, and now is the opportunity to break away from this group. So now Buddy has caught up to the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, who seems to be struggling on those soft tyres. And we are going to see if we can make a move here. So, we are on the outside, heading into the Casio trunk, but we're going to switch to the inside now. And we have made that move stick. And we are up into P5. Very good move from Buddy. As you can see from the replay, he dummied him heading into the chicane. So a very solid move. So on lap 12, Buddy decided to enter the pits for his first pit stop, switching to the soft compound tyre. Going for a long stint.
Go, go, go.
So, we're released.
up to speed
and
now.
we
Let's get some heat into those tyres.
are going to rejoin behind Stoffel Van Dorn and Danny Kvyat, which is not ideal, to be honest. But he didn't spend long trying to clear Stoffel Van Dorn. As you can see, he got the run heading into 130R and he made that move stick. And it was a fairly easy move, obviously with the power deficit that the Honda engine has. Now he's behind Danny Kvyat for P10, but obviously there's still a few cars ahead who have yet to pit. And you can see he tries to do what he did to Verstappen, but Kvyat sticks to the inside. A little bit of contact is made, but exiting the final corner, Buddy is the person that's going to have DRS here as he tucks into the slipstream of the Toro Rosso, heading into the first corner, and he has made that move stick. But things would get complicated when Perez caught up. We were hoping that we could pass Magnussen and he could kind of hold Perez back. As you can see, he's really on the rear wing of us, and we have to go off the track to avoid contact. But as you can see, Magnussen pits in, so this is going to give Perez the run. The fact that we don't have the slipstream from the Haas, and we're going to try and hold it round the outside, but he has the inside line, and unfortunately there is nothing we can do to hold that position. So Perez has passed us for P6. Now moving on to lap 35, and as you can see, Buddy's coming in for his final pit stop. This is for the soft tyre. He can't change to the super soft, and the reason for that is because he doesn't have a unused set available to him, which could cause a problem. As you can see, he hits his box and he gets going. And he rejoins in P11 ahead of Esteban Ocon, which is reasonable for us. So we were on target for P7 as things stood. As you can see, Hamilton comes into the pits. But as you can see, Romain Grosjean exits the pits and he is on the super soft tyre. So that made it clear that he was going to be quite a threat to us towards the end of the race. And the team were obviously quite urgent to make sure that he knew of the threat behind.
Okay, Buddy, Brazilian is on super soft behind. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Moving on to lap 41, as you can see now Grosjean has caught up to us. It was going to be really tough to keep him behind, but Buddy was incredibly determined. As you can see, he's going to the inside. Grosjean has DRS and obviously those fresher tyres, but we have the inside line heading into the first corner, and we are able to keep that position for now. Moving on to lap 44, and one other difficulty that Buddy is having is with fuel usage, but he is being really careful on where he uses his Mix 3, and he's using Mix 3 in the zones where Grosjean really has an opportunity. As you can see, he's got the run again, but we once again are able to defend that position, and we are able to defend P7 for now. Now moving on to lap 49, we have 4 laps to go as we have been lapped. And see, this was Grosjean's best chance of all, but we still have the inside line and we're able to defend the position. Now on to the final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix, and Grosjean's tyres did start to die out, and the final few laps were a lot easier when it came to defending the position. It was a good battle that Buddy had, and he is about to take his first point since Belgium with a great drive to 7th.
Oh, that was a good one. What a battle.
So Buddy crosses the line to finish in P7. A good race all round for Buddy, managing to fend off Romain Grosjean for P7. Despite him being on the quicker tyre, it was a really good feat for Buddy. Like at the start of the stint, surely people must have thought that it would have been an easy move for Grosjean, but Buddy just really stood his ground. As you can see, it is Lewis Hamilton that won the race in Suzuka, as he climbs on top of his car to celebrate his victory. And as you can see, the Mercedes team celebrate. As far as the championship is concerned, unfortunately this doesn't quite move Renault back ahead of Haas, but Renault do have the upper hand in terms of car pace here. So hopefully it should be simple for Renault to get that position back, and hopefully Buddy can get on a roll. Unfortunately, he will have to take another engine penalty at the circuit of the Americas, but let's hope that he can fight his way through the field. So, after an interesting race in Suzuka, can Buddy continue the form as Formula 1 heads to the circuit of the Americas?